Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only RANT. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Christmas movie marathon by reviewing another movie. It's going to be an animated film this time around, and yeah, it's going to be the one titled Ice Princess Lily. Yep, this is the movie I've tortured myself by watching it just a few moments ago, so while it's still fresh in my mind, I figured I would just talk about it in this video. So, yeah. And again, I've actually bought this at the dollar store. Oh boy. And so there's ice, there's an evil snowman, and then there's a lot of snow. I guess close enough. Uh, to review it for my Christmas-a-thon, I guess. And instantly, it reminded me of Frozen, folks. It instantaneously reminded me of that right away. But as I watched the film, I say it's like a combination of that and then a bit of this movie as well, like having elements of both mixed together, I guess. Hey, come on, that's really lazy. That's really lazy here. The original title for this film was actually this, but the thing is that this boggles my mind that why was this changed? Why was it renamed the Ice Princess?
I don't give a shit!
And the thing is that this was originally a TV series, so they wanted this character, this dragon-like character, to be in a motion picture, I guess. Even though the character already had his own animated film a little while ago, I guess. But the thing is that if anybody expects me to review that movie, well, I have something to tell you. No. I know I usually want to review every installment of a certain franchise, but there's a few exceptions here. And the thing is that if I have to ask any of the people involved in this project what this movie is really about, I mean, the plot is so sloppily put together. But if I have to ask any of them what this story is about, I'm pretty sure their response will be basically,
Look what I can do.
the way the story is told is so badly done, folks. It's horrendously bad. Oh boy. I mean, granted, I'm not going to say that this was the worst Christmas movie I've reviewed. It's nowhere near as terrible as some of the other Christmas movies I've already spoken about. I mean, okay, like I said, I mean, there's ice, there's snow, there's an evil snowman. I mean, close enough. Close enough, I guess. Close enough that I reviewed for this, but it's not by far the worst animated movie I've reviewed. I've reviewed animated films or live action films that were far worse than this. So, yeah. So anyway, as usual, I have to talk about the plot, which won't take too long because there's not really much of a story, really. I mean, it kind of tries, but what it has is very paper thin. I mean, really paper thin. But anyway, it's going to be pretty much focusing upon this young dragon who had to be taken care of by somebody else because just before he was hatched, his mother died. And there was this whole thing going on between these two nations, these two lands, and they're going at it. And the thing is that he doesn't know how to fly right away like a typical dragon would. And yes, that becomes an issue in the film, I guess. So, but eventually, yes, he does make friends along the way. And of course, his friends will be these animals, and of course, the Ice Princess, of course. And yeah, the big bad guy wants to pretty much put a stop to everything. And Yeah, he's looking for his own flame, so to speak, and he must fight against the evil character with the help of the Ice Princess Lily, of course. And they must figure out a way to basically bring peace among the land because nobody should be fighting over each other over bigotry, I guess, or whatever. But anyway, this is supposed to take place quite some time ago, and these two magical kingdoms, the inhabitants, yeah, they don't like each other, of course, for whatever reason. And there's dragons, of course, in this movie. And yeah, they must settle down their differences to become more loving and caring, of course. But, of course, there's still a sense of struggle going on. I don't know why, but yeah, that's about it. It's very, very narrow, folks, but the story there's not much to it at all. Gotta have my eggnog again. I know I've been drinking quite a bit of this in my videos or whatever. Well, gotta deal with the pain anyway, somehow. But anyway, this film does attempt to have some sort of drama going on, but it doesn't work. It doesn't quite work at all because the sense of drama feels forced, character development feels forced, and the little story that they have, they do try to deliver it in a way, but even that feels forced. Everything in terms of narrative it feels rushed. It feels like, okay, come on, let's go. It's really quick. So, I know dragon, the little dragon thing, and the princess, they're trying to form a friendship and whatnot. So, I mean, okay, that seems to be typical of, kids' movies. Having like a human-like character teaming up with like a animal-like character. That's typical. But even then, even that feels rushed. So you never really get a sense of chemistry with any of the characters, come to think of it. So, yeah, the writing here is really flawed. It's really, really flawed. It's just a terribly written movie. Uh, I mean, at least it was short, so it went by pretty quickly. At least there was that. But still, from what I saw, it was painful. Yeah, this was just one of those below the average animated flicks for the family. So, yeah, it was almost okay, I guess, in some regards, I suppose. It's very typical. It doesn't try to do anything new, really. It's just the same old you've seen before. It's very generic. And that makes it really lazy when you think about it. Yes, I know this is aimed for the entire family, but that doesn't mean you should excuse it. You should have top quality in storytelling. I mean, the animation is pretty okay, I guess. The animation is decent, but it's nothing spectacular. I've seen better animations before by other companies when I think about it. So, yeah. But yeah, I did not like the animation either. The character designs aren't particularly great. The character designs are barely passable, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't really like any of the character designs. Really, they make the entire film look more cheaper than what it really is because the character designs look way overly simplistic than they should be. So as a result, yeah, it does look cheaper than it should have been. And yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, the character movements are pretty okay. They're pretty fluent. It was smooth, I guess. But yeah, it's just something in regard to the animation. It doesn't do anything special. I mean, okay, I guess it gets the job done, I suppose. So, that's something, I guess. Well, I guess it was better animated than this. I mean, it was really horrible to look at. And yes, still better animated than something like this as well. That was just hideous. I guess it was also better animated than this as well. Oh boy. So I guess that should be something. That counts for something, I guess. However, folks, just because I compared one turd to another turd does not make this any less of a turd. Unfortunately, that's all this is. A below average turd that was trying to be special, when ultimately it just failed. Yeah, this was a film I would definitely say it was really cheesy. Really, really cheesy in a lot of ways. I didn't like the voice acting. It's like they didn't try all that hard in that regard. Yes, even the voice acting was really cheesy. The dialogue was cheesy. Even the singing, yes, of course, they were trying to have some singing going on throughout the entire film. The voice acting and the singing were cheesy. There was a lack of quality in that regard. The lyrics were not all that inspiring, even though that's what they were trying to do. Be inspiring, I guess. But I couldn't feel nothing at the end because, as I said a moment ago, this entire thing felt incredibly rushed. Like they had no time to develop into characters or story fully, really. If you're gonna have a simplistic story, at the very least, try to make it interesting in some sort of way. But no, they didn't do that. It's like they didn't even try all that really, all that hard. So I couldn't feel any actual threats or any suspense for the characters really. If they don't care about the characters when they were making the movie, then why should I care? This film was originally in German, and the dubbing was, yeah, pretty bad. That's why I said it was cheesy earlier. Anyway, uh, oh, eggnog. Well, I'll get some more later. But anyway, yeah, the dubbing wasn't really good. Nah. Ah, damn it. It's Mr. Monkey. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not gonna give you these god awful movies. Ever. Just go ahead and leave me alone for once, will you? God. Oh yeah, here it goes. Right. Mr. Monkey, may I have a word with you? Yeah, folks. That's ultimately what I have to say about this film. It's definitely not worth my time. The title of the film was definitely misleading. I automatically thought it was a Disney movie. It clearly isn't, but I guess that's what they wanted to do. Why does these two lands have to be against each other? Of course, I'm speaking about the whole fact that, yeah, there's a whole war between Greenland and Iceland. They're having a war with each other. That's really dumb. It's really, really dumb. And also, why does the bad guy have to be the bad guy? I know they're trying to have a story of good versus evil, which in itself doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing per se, but why? Why does any of this have to occur? It just came off they were just trying to have a conflict for its own sake. I mean, yes, I guess. I get the point. The message is supposed to be about friendship and loving each other and whatnot. We all should accept each other or whatever. That's all fine and dandy. It's just ultimately the execution that really ruined it at the end of the day, folks. The overall plot is so sloppily put together in a lot of ways. Felt very contrived. Things just occur just for the sake of it, just to push things along. And even though the premise is simple, it still felt like it padded things out. So yeah, I was quite bored on a number of occasions. You disgust me. You know that? Yeah, nah. I'll give this film an overall rating of a 4.8 out of 10. I think it's a 4.8 out of 10 for me. And as always, thanks for watching and take care. Till next time, see ya. Oh yeah. Don't mind me, and I'll just be drinking more eggnog, I guess. Whatever.